Hello all, welcome to our channel Way to Know. So Way to Know is one of the electronic content creation channel, and our channel has around 1500 plus videos which are helping electronics engineers worldwide. So in this particular video, we are going to talk about Assist2 AI. AI we know stands for artificial intelligence. So basically, we are going to talk about how the electronics can gain advantage of this Assist2 AI, and how engineers in their regular work can have an advantageous situation because of this Assist2 AI, and we'll talk about the different domains with examples. So before going to the Assist2 AI, simple thing on artificial intelligence, everyone we know artificial intelligence is a field where we have machines which simulate the human behavior and help us in taking decisions, helping solve problems, and performing the routine tasks that are done by engineers, right? So AI is dominating the industry, started dominating the industry and exploring its way into different domains, right? And the core of all this artificial intelligence thing are the algorithms that are in the background. So the algorithms span from small code snippets to complex algorithm based on the task that need to be handled, right? Now, so we know artificial intelligence. We are talking about generative AI, which is very famous. And what is this Assist2 AI? So Assist2 AI is again an artificial intelligence system only, where Assist2 AI helps the humans take decisions. That means here machines and humans work together, and Assist2 AI helps humans in their work or during their task execution. Whereas artificial intelligence is completely automated system which performs its activities on its own. Right? A simple difference between a basic artificial intelligence system and Assist2 AI system. So because of this coordination with the humans, it helps to automate routine tasks, increase basically the production capabilities of a human. That means human capabilities can be effectively used, and more work can be done within a short time. Basically, the problem solving capabilities of human can be increased because they are getting assistance from a powerful system in the background. And especially when you have something of a critical decision to be taken and you need to do a lot of work in the background, that can be handled by the Assist2 AI in the background and help us take the decision. That means we are actually getting more efficient, getting more work done, and ultimately Assist2 AI is something which is providing the recommendations to us in our particular work. So we can say Assist2 AI is a companion of engineer who helps the engineer in his general task execution. Now let us talk how Assist2 AI helps in electronics. Simple thing, when we talk about electronics, the first thing that comes to mind is the circuit design. Okay, now let us assume we are designing a filter. Okay, generally when we want to design a filter, what would we do? We go to a web browser, or we do paper calculations, or we go to a simulation tools, slowly start with the components and come up with the filter which fits our bandwidth requirements. Right? Now, Assist2 AI can simply help us provide recommendations on the fly based on the inputs that we provide. So, which simplifies the task rather than we getting deviated to various tools outside the design work that we are working on. And for example, if you are a PCB layout engineer, Assist2AI can help you suggest the best power routing topology when you perform a power integrity analysis. So some tools are already integrating this, where the data is collected and processed, and ultimately a best solution is proposed. And then another simple scenario where Assist2AI can help is, let us assume you are working on a schematic and you wanted to check a specific formula to design a particular circuit and finish the schematic. Now, imagine a scenario where you just get a formula on the screen flashed itself when you're around that circuit, rather than you going to a web browser searching for the formulas, or opening some manufacturer or vendor websites and going through their app notes and all. Rather than all these, if a formula flashes up there and you use it to directly generate the or calculate and design your circuit, how simple it is, right? We get less deviated, our work we focused more on the design, and there's less work that is being done on searching and finding out the right resource. Wow, such a useful tool for engineer, right? And then H2A can also be used in semiconductor industry. So semiconductor industry, we know, right, is going through lot of changes. We see a complex process that is being introduced, and complex circuits. So ultimately, the semiconductor process that is being used for a chip has to be well defined, and it has to be right the first time. Correct. So what happens is, once a bug is found, there is a lot of money and time wasted as well. So ultimately, if you can find the corrective actions well before the release happens, that is a ultimate thing that can happen in a design, right? That's what the engineers look forward to. Recommendations. Ultimately, we now depend on a senior resource to assist us, and if your system itself can become that kind of resource and assist you in providing the inputs, you can imagine the scenarios, right? This is one more simple scenario where assist to a plays a role. And one more important thing is ultimately the manufacturing. So manufacturing, what happens, the quality control is a very important aspect in manufacturing. So ultimately, the engineers have to keep a check on the production line, do the routine checks whenever required, and ultimately focus on the quality, right? If there is a system where it can provide quick suggestions, find the issues, and ultimately focus on that specific task, and rather than doing it manually, it helps to reduce errors and improve the productivity ultimately, right? So that means the efficiency of the entire process is increased. So this is one more simple example in the manufacturing industry. Likewise, there are several other things. For example, if you are doing a PCB layout, and let us assume you are routing a differential signal. So when you're trying to route the differential signal, let us assume you did not maintain the exact separation between the P and N lights, and if the Assist2AI can come in whenever there is a deviation and flash up on the screen. A simple example, right? So, such a nice input to the design engineer, right? Rather than being doing a review and unable to catch them during the review, or focusing more resources on review. If you are getting it reviewed there itself and the recommendations are flashed, what more a project team would look forward to, right? So there is a lot of scope in assistive AI, and ultimately in future the electronics engineers um, can get benefited out of these assistive AI, and integrating it into the current EDA tools that are available in the market is the most critical thing. So slowly the tools are integrating these and coming up with a lot of features. You can explore some of the things with the cadence, signal integrity, and power integrity analysis tools, where they have integrated the AI related. And in future we can expect other tools based on these assistive AI. I'm talking about the main tools which can be used. There are other tools that are coming up in the market only based on AI, but has very less capabilities and cannot be used completely for a product delivery. So yes, we are not talking about those. We are talking about the mainstream tools in the market. Like example, we talk about Altium, OrCAD, these kind of tools. So in future you expect an engineer to focus on the tasks which are there and focus less on the inputs that are needed to complete the task, because the inputs, the processing, the decision making will be taken by someone, and you get an input on what need to be done, and your execution time reduces, your efficiency increases. Ultimately we see that rather than assistive AI removing most people are scared that when AI comes into picture, our jobs are at risk. No, the efficiency of your work is going to increase, and how much we are going to ramp up on these tools is a very important factor here. Hope we give a glimpse of what assistive AI is. Please post your questions. Please post your inputs on assistive AI, and how what inputs you know, and if you are already using some tools with assistive AI, please post them in the comment box. Please let us know your suggestions on this video. Thank you.